What is up everyone, it's CMG here. So, as I would have probably mentioned in my last video about Overwatch 2, I've decided to go away and think about this delay a little bit more. And I've come up with a personal feeling that I'm sure some of you would agree on. I honestly believe that Overwatch 2 should not have been a game in the first place. And rather than have this sequel, I firmly believe that Overwatch as the base game that we all currently play should have just continued to be given regular updates such as new heroes, new maps and new game modes to keep the game fresh and up to date and keep us players coming back time after time. Right, so before we go ahead and delve into this a little bit more, I just want to remind you once again, if you like this idea for a video and you want to see more like this in the future, then go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Send a comment, like the video, and then turn on your notifications. It really does help me out so much. For those of you that have done so thus far, thank you, and I highly appreciate you. Okay, so in order for me to understand why I feel Overwatch 2 should not be its own hyped up sequel, we need to go all the way back to BlizzCon 2019. Cast your mind back for a brief moment to how excited we all were for this. I mean, there were a few image leaks prior to the build-up to BlizzCon 2019, so we had a little bit of an idea beforehand, but it had everyone talking at the time, and we all wondered what Overwatch 2 would be. Would it be its own separate game that we had to pay for, or would it be a straight-up expansion to the base game with a whole load of new heroes, maps, game modes, possibly a brand new HUD layout? I actually hope for the latter. I mean, yeah, we'll get to that in a bit, but yeah, we then get to BlizzCon, and Jeff Kaplan announces the sequel with an animated short confirming absolutely everything. And then, after that, we hear nothing about it. Throughout all of 2020 until BlizzConline in early 2021, where we get to see for the first time some footage of PvE elements from the behind the scenes segment, got us rather excited for that. Then we fast forward to May 2021. There's an official PvP gameplay livestream where we finally get to have a look at the few new maps for Overwatch 2 along with some PvP gameplay elements. And of course the announcement from Aaron Keller that Overwatch 2 would be switching to 5v5 instead of 6v6. And this made it even more important to check out this livestream because we wanted to see for ourselves how losing a tank from every team would change the way that we play the game currently. How some of the changes to a lot of heroes, especially the tanks and supports, would change the pace of the game. Some were for it, others were against it. I personally against it because changing the game to 5v5 means changing the game completely, and I'm not somebody who likes direct change. I feel that having two tanks in a game is the main backbone of every team. If you have good synergy with your two tanks, then you usually do well as a team. It also gives supports extra protection and allows space for DPS to work effectively. Some might argue that losing one tank puts less stress on the main support to have to pump out healing to two different tanks, and having one tank to deal with cuts that stress in half. So if you were to take away the behind the scenes of Overwatch 2 segment from the last BlizzCon line we had, and the official gameplay livestream, what else have we got? Well, we do have a few rework announcements and a couple of skin redesigns for a few characters, but not a whole lot else. Add to this the same seasonal events we get every year, with the only difference to them being additional legendary skins, which, to their credit, they're very, very nice to look at. They put a lot of work into those. And also the mini events, such as the Patchy Marchy challenge with Roadhog and the Deadlock challenge featuring Ashe. But that's not really enough when you think they've taken all this time to work on the sequel, while us, the Overwatch community, we're left being drip-fed all this small content and wondering, what are they even doing with this sequel? When they could be sticking around updating the current game with much better features like, I don't know, a new hero, which gets everybody hyped up more than anything. Honestly, did you know that Paladins, you know Paladins? Yeah, they've dropped 8 new champions to their game since Echo came to Overwatch. I'll just leave that a little fact there for you. So yeah, as I said, Echo in April 2020 was the last hero to be added to Overwatch. Jeff Kaplan announces straight after Echo's arrival that Overwatch would no longer be getting new heroes, and instead the dev team would start getting to work on Overwatch 2, leaving absolutely no trace of what they were working on, not talking with the community directly, and we're left with more questions than answers at this point. Of course, after these said events mentioned earlier, we get an announcement that crossplay is finally getting added to the game, so console players can finally play with PC players, which should have been a main feature from the very beginning. And also, we get 2 small deathmatch maps in the form of Kanazaka and later Malavento, that gets pushed back because of, well, the lawsuit. And Blizzard are here hoping that this is enough to keep us going while they continue to work on Overwatch 2, when it clearly isn't. This leaves me with a concluding thought, in that why did we have to have a full-blown sequel being made when for all this time that we haven't had content and just been getting the same outdated events, we could have been given heroes and maps that would have otherwise brought ourselves into the new era of Overwatch without even having to announce a sequel, if that makes any sense. So Overwatch would just be the one game that we all play that receives content every now and again, keeping the game fresh all the time. Just look at how games like, I don't know, Genshin Impact dish out their content. So every 6 weeks, MiHoYo announce a new update with new events and storylines. New characters and weapons get shown off during their special program, and the videos that explain the updates show how these characters are infused into the story of Genshin Impact, and said characters are then given 2-week-long banner runs. This, along with a few story missions and event modes that we can do within those 6 weeks, so that we can earn these rewards and then prepare ourselves for the next update. Now, please tell me, do we really need a sequel called Genshin Impact 2, where MiHoYo decides to go, right, we have some amazing new characters and a new separate world from Teyvat planned, but we're not dropping it for Genshin Impact. You're going to have to wait until we drop Genshin Impact 2. But for now, here's another few reruns for Venti, Zhongli, Hu Tao and Child, and then maybe a rerun of the Windbloom Festival. Here you go, start killing some time off by shooting balloons with Fischl. That would be absurd. But I feel that's what Blizzard, right now, are doing with Overwatch 2. I mean, you could ask the same question about other games out there, like, why isn't there a Fortnite 2? Why isn't there a Paladins 2? Why isn't there a League of Legends 2? Why isn't there an Apex Legends 2? It doesn't make sense, right? Maybe you could argue that the only reason for their supposed stall on Overwatch 2, and this is on pure opinion, this is just me guessing, is that the PvE aspect of the game is what they want to focus on the most. They want to make this part of the game the thing that you pay for because it's completely separate from the PvP aspect. They want to have the time to tweak all of the heroes in the game so they can fully fit into the 5v5 regime that they want to push through and get us accustomed to. So if that's the case, why haven't we seen any gameplay footage for the PvE mode? Why are we here being shown PvP stuff? And let's not forget that the entire loot box system is technically an outdated way of earning content in the game. Maybe they're trying to include some kind of battle pass into PvP that would allow us to play games and earn rewards, like a lot of other free-to-play games out there, which leads me onto something that needs to be addressed. Why don't we make PvP Overwatch free-to-play? Now, with the whole Overwatch free-to-play thing, that's a whole different video entirely for me as far as I'm concerned. But to be straight with you about why this might be a bad idea, would be that it would encourage hackers to create multiple accounts and do all sorts of things that would make Overwatch frustrating to play for the average person. I know for a fact that console Overwatch suffers massively from this whole account thing, because on PlayStation, you could buy Overwatch as a game, but then have multiple accounts on one PS4 system, and then on it, include multiple accounts on there, so effectively, you could go into a game with complete noobs or bronze players and then dismantle them because you're more accustomed with the game than they are, and they wouldn't be aware of it. In conclusion, I truly believe that Overwatch should have just been the game that we all play, and have content added to it regularly. I just don't get why hyping us all up for a sequel to the game going away to work on said game and then saying absolutely nothing about it to your community while not updating the current game can be given off as a good idea. When just about every other game around you continue to pump regular content into themselves, keeping their respective fan bases engaged and coming back time and time again for more new stuff. Remember when we were all hyped about Overwatch 2 when it was first announced? Compare that to now, where we're just about getting sick of hearing the term, and we just want something to happen now. And even if it did happen, right? Imagine if Overwatch 2 did come out now. Would we all be excited about it? Or has the hype already died? Yeah. Anyway, you let me know in the comment section down below. I think that's going to be it for today. I think I've just about done enough explaining. But I mean, you know, you let me know in the comments. You know, if there's anything in this segment that I've probably missed out on, let me know in the comments, and I'll probably try and read them in the best way that I can. Maybe respond to them if I've got time. But yes, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, then go ahead and click on the subscribe button, send a comment, like the video, and then turn on your notifications. It really does help me out a great deal. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, and there's also my Discord server. Everything is listed in the description, so go ahead and click on those things if you're interested in following me on those platforms. Thank you very much for stopping by, chaps. Have a great day, have a great life, be nice to your fellow gamers, because we are all human beings. I've been CMG, and until the next video, I shall see you later. Peace.